Hey guys, we're going to go ahead and get started here today. And the topic of this lesson is going to be the first in a series that's related to physical fitness as well as physical well being. Um, I've got a number of videos in store where I want to talk about various things that have helped me in my physical journey. And yes, it is a journey, and yes, I'm still nearing towards its completion. Um, but before we get into what's worked for me and what's helped me, I think the most important conversation to have with yourself before you embark on any sort of physical fitness journey or physical wellness journey is you need to figure out why you want to physically get better. You need to figure out why you want to physically get better. You need to figure out why you want to get physically healthier. You need to figure out why you want to be able to have a better quality of life physically. Now, with that being said, um, if you're in a severe medical situation, then by all means, I'm not discounting that situation. And I'm not even trying to come to terms with that or even try to tell you what you need to do in that situation. That's absolutely not what my intention is. If you are in a medically severe situation, you need to listen to your doctors and you need to find your own path towards completeness, or at least as complete as you can get. But this video is more intended for people such as myself that are carrying a lot more than we need to be carrying without any sort of physically drastic hurdles to overcome. Okay. So if you look like me, you know, you're somewhat healthy, but you got too much belly on you, then this video is probably for you. If not, then that's okay. So, why do you want to get better? Why do you want to get healthier? Why do you want a better quality of life? You need to answer that as thoroughly and honestly as possible. You need to answer that as thoroughly and honestly as possible. You can't simply say, "Oh, I want to get better because someone told me to." Stop. Just stop right there. Okay? It ain't going to work. I'm telling you right now, it is not going to work. Someone says, "Oh, you know, I'm trying to look good for my girlfriend, or I'm trying to look good for my boyfriend, or I'm trying to look good for my spouse." Nope. Not going to work either. If you're saying, "I'm trying to get healthy because my doctor said I need to get healthy," wrong yet again. You have to find the reason to get healthy on your own, and it has to come from you. You have to decide why you want to get healthy, what you want to do when you're going to be healthy, why being healthy is better than being unhealthy. These are all questions you have to answer. These are all questions you have to answer. You have to decide why you want to get healthy. You have to decide what you're going to do once you get healthy. I can't do that for you. And if that external and if your reason for getting healthier is falling outside of you, then you really need to look at yourself and say, "Okay, am I doing this for someone else's approval? Am I doing this because someone else told me I needed to? Or are you looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? I want to get better because I'm worth investing in. You say, I want to improve my health because I want to be here for the people that care about me. Or I want to be here for the people that count on me. Now, yes, those two did come outside of you. That is a true statement. But you were the one that ultimately decided where the value came from and where the energy was going to be directed. You have to decide why you want to be healthy. You have to know why you're going to get healthy. Now, that reason may change. That reason may change. It may do a 360. You had a very low resolution image of why you wanted to get healthy and what your reasons were. And they might have been true at that time. And that's okay because that's all you had at the time. But as you mature and as you go through this journey, you're going to look at yourself and you're going to say, okay, with all being equal, what can I do that's going to get me as far as I want and as close as I want to my goals? So what I mean by that is ultimately the reason to get healthy has to come from you, and it's a reason that has to exist regardless of what is or isn't happening with the rest of your life. I think simple bad examples are, like I said, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the spouse. Those are probably really easy to see bad examples. And I'm going to tell you why that's a bad example. If you're constantly looking for that person's approval, if you're constantly looking for that person's validation, if you're constantly waiting for that person to say, hey, you're doing a really good job. If you're only going to feel good about yourself when you get that compliment, you need to absolutely stop. And you need to start figuring out how to give yourself compliments. Because otherwise, I promise, it ain't ever going to be enough. You might have some beautiful people in your life that are truly trying to compliment you and are truly trying to encourage you. And that is necessary from time to time. But if the only time you feel good is if you're getting a compliment, man, you're heading down a road. And if the person you're trying to get approval from is withholding compliments while you're busting your ass, you got to remove yourself from that situation. Because if you've got a person and you're saying, well, if I do this, maybe they'll finally say I'm doing a good job, or maybe they'll finally like me, or maybe they'll finally love me, or whatever the case may be, right? If that's the case, you're never going to get there. You're absolutely never going to get there. Because here's the thing about it. If that person truly cared about you, they would have gave you some compliments when you started. They would have gave you some encouragement sooner rather than later, instead of withholding encouragement for a later date. That absolutely never comes. So like I said, you need to find why you want to get healthy, and it has to come from you. It has to come from you. It has to exist regardless of what is or isn't happening in the external world. And it absolutely cannot be wanting someone's approval or wanting someone else's validation. You know who's the most important approval there is on planet Earth? You know whose validation is the most important on planet Earth? It's not your boyfriends, it's not your parents, it's not your teacher, it's not your job, it's not your coach. It's not a politician, it's not a religious leader, it's not a civic leader. The most important opinion on planet Earth is the one you have of yourself. The most important validation is the one you give yourself. The most important compliment that exists is the one you give yourself. As you move through this journey, you're going to realize that you've been doing a lot of work. And you have had allies. You've had allies. You've had people encouraging you. You've had people complimenting you. You've had people giving you advice. And those are all beautiful things. But you're the one putting one foot in front of the other. You're the one that's drinking water instead of pop. You're the one that's meal prepping instead of drive-through. It's you. You're doing it. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a compliment. And above all, only seek the compliments you give yourself. Those are the ones that matter the most. If someone wants to give you some compliments, beautiful. If someone wants to give you some perspective, amazing. But ultimately, the one you give yourself is the one that's going to matter the most. You're the one waking up in your bed. You're the one paying your bills. You're the one living your life. You're the one making the decisions that are either going to move you towards direction A or direction B. You got to decide what direction you're going to head in. You got to decide what phase you're going to enter into. So, here's what I would encourage you to do is, to the best of your abilities, come up with a reason to get healthier that purely exists from yourself, that purely exists within yourself. Not to get a little too I'll disclose a little bit about my situation. Why I want to get healthy? This is me talking. My reason for getting healthier is so that I can have a better quality of life. So that I'm able to move easier, I'm able to bend over easier, I'm able to sleep easier, I'm able to perform tasks easier. I don't need to be laid up in a bed, I don't need to be laid up in a hospital, I don't need to be on mountains of prescriptions. That's number one. Number two, I want to be able to go out in public. I want to be able to go walk around a convention. I want to go walk around somewhere. I want to go to a concert and stand there and not feel like I got knives shooting down my legs. And most importantly, I want to be here as long as I can for the people that love me. And the reason I want to be here for as long as I can for the people that love me is not because of, not so that I can, how do I say this? I want to be here for the people that love me so that I can repay their love and that I can carry their love into the future. So that's my reason for getting healthier. Yes, there is some external things involved, but ultimately the reason is coming from me and the reason is benefiting me. And the approval is coming from me. So guys, like I said, figure out why you want to get healthier. Figure out why you want to get healthier. Figure out what you're going to do when you get healthier. Even if it's something as simple as, Jonathan, I'm on 10 medications right now. It sucks. How do I get down to 5? That is a great goal. And I'm being dead serious right now. That is a great goal. If you're saying I'm on 10 pills and I want to get down to 5, bro, come on, let's do this. Like, seriously, let's do this. That's a great goal to have. And it came from you, and it's benefiting you. And the validation and the approval is coming from you. All right, guys. So we're just about at time here. Thank you so much for being here today. And I'm looking forward to this next series of videos on health and wellness. See you guys later. Bye.